Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at another new Tag Team GX. Now, this has been revealed in CoroCoro magazine over in Japan, and our translation comes from the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net. This is weird for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's amazing. Secondly, it's Mega Sableye and Tyranitar. Mega Sableye. Now, first of all, we never got a Mega Sableye card, ladies and gentlemen. That completely passed us by. We missed some of the Megas in the card game. Sableye was one of them. Secondly, Mega Pokemon are back. And they're in Tag Team GXs. And also, yeah, this is a really good card. Let's have a look at the basics, shall we? It's a fairly big boy. It's a Tag Team GX. It's got 280 HP. Now, to put that into context, that will make it the second biggest Pokemon we've got. Bigger than all the other Tag Team GXs, with the sole exception of Magikarp and Wailord. Other than that, it's the biggest boy we've got so far. So that's a pretty good start. It is weak to fighting. It has to be weak to fighting. So you've still got stuff like the non-GX Buzzwole, and if you've got exactly 4 prizes remaining and they've got a Diancie Prism Star, then that will unfortunately add up to exactly 280, and it will mean that they get a KO, and people are still going to be trying to counter Pikarom, so it's not the best weakness to have. But it is going to be resistant to Psychic. That means that we've got Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX that I showed you just a couple of days ago, which looks like it's amazing, and it's going to be resistant to that. So that's pretty gosh darn good. And even the retreat cost of 4 is quite nice, because it means you can use buff padding to put yourself up to 330 HP. And remember that this is coming out essentially post-rotation. It's going to be in Unified Minds. And Choice Band is going to have rotated, so you've got space to play other tools, like, in fact, buff padding. Now, being a Darkness Pokemon means you can actually use Black Market Prism Star here, so that you're only giving up 2 prizes rather than 3, and then you've got other stuff like Nanu, etc., that we're going to get into in a minute. But what does it actually do? Well, according to Joe, the first attack for 4 darkness, 1 colorless energy does 210. But if your opponent's active Pokemon is a GX or EX and is knocked out by damage from this attack, you take an extra prize card. That's absolutely ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's very, very expensive. We'll get to the attack cost in a moment. But you take an extra prize off an EX or GX. Now, it is only EX or GX. If you knock out a regular Pokemon, no extra prize for you. So really here, it depends what you're up against. Now, most of the relevant GXs will probably go down to this. The Dene GX will be one-hit KO'd by this. And then Lightning decks are playing stuff like Zera, Aura, which will go down in one hit to this. And then Blacephalon's going down, and people always seem to find a way to make Rayquaza relevant, and that's going down. So really, it's only the stage 2 GXs you won't one-hit KO here. Tag Team GXs is a different story. 210 is not enough. The littlest, babyest ones are things like Pikachu and Zekrom and Gengar and Mimikyu that are rocking there with 240. And we won't have Choice Band. With Choice Band, you'd be able to get a one-hit KO, life would be good. Without Choice Band, no. Also worth noting that Devoured Field will have rotated, but having said that, there's not really a huge difference between 210 and 220. I mean, name me a relevant GX with 220 HP, so we're not so upset that we've lost that, if I'm honest with you. You could always use Shrine of Punishment here, and look, I know that generally speaking, we don't want to use Shrine of Punishment in GX decks, I get it. But firstly, you've got more HP than anyone other than Magikarp and Wailord. Secondly, you're taking an extra prize when you KO them, so you can KO 2 GXs and take 6 prizes to win the game. So it might be worth playing around with this just to whittle your opponent down to bring them into range of your attack. Although please bear in mind that if they're KO'd between turns from Shrine of Punishment, you won't get the extra prize here. So this is a phenomenal attack. I think you probably wouldn't play this on its own. I think you would have to have something else to take out your non-EX, non-GX Pokemon. Maybe Spiritomb from Unbroken Bonds. That's a fun one. I do still like my boy Umbreon, but that did not go great in Bristol this weekend. The less said about that, the better. But against GXs, this is your boy. This is what you really want to be rocking with. Now, I said about the energy cost a minute ago, and here's the thing. It's darkness, 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 colourless. It's extremely expensive. Make no bones about it, ladies and gentlemen. Extremely expensive. And it's not like Psychic where we've got Malamar. And it's not like Fire where we've got Welder. But that's not to say that we don't have options. We have options. And honestly, the card I'm looking at mostly when I'm thinking about this is Nanu. Now, when expanded, we can do better. We'll get to that in a second. But Nanu lets you swap any Pokemon on your field for a Darkness Pokemon, a basic Darkness Pokemon from your discard pile. But you keep all the damage counters, special conditions, and crucially, you keep all of the energy. So I'm thinking Darkrai Prism Star here. Darkrai Prism Star, you can bench it, and when you bench it, you can attach an extra 2 Darkness Energy from your hand to Darkrai Prism Star. Then you play Nanu, and all of a sudden it turns into a Mega Sableye and Tyranitar from your discard pile, but you've still got those extra 2 energy on there. That could work quite nicely. But we can also look at the Incineroar GX from Team Up. That's got a really nice ability whereby you attach free energy to it and then you put free damage counters on it. Incidentally, that will actually bring it down to 220. Remember the discussion a moment ago. You can then play a Nanu and okay, you'll keep the free damage counters, which is a bit sad, but you'll also keep the free energy. And then you're just a little bit closer. Don't forget, you can always do stuff like Tag Switch. So maybe you find an Ultra Beast and you Beast String onto it. Guzzlord, obviously the one we're really thinking of here. And then you Tag Switch 2 of those energy. And I know that sounds awkward, but I have seen this scene play in some weird decks in Japan where you Beast String onto an Ultra Beast, then Tag Switch, and you're off. And look, I know none of these are great options. I know that it's a little bit awkward using Nanu, using Beast Ring and Tag Switch. But the fact of the matter is, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it because of how great this first attack is. But we need to talk about the expanded format. And I don't always talk about the expanded format in these videos, but it really does need to be mentioned here. Because in expanded, we've still got Darkrai Prism Star and Nanu, and that's a good combo. But you've also got Dark Patch, which just accelerates a Darkness energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Darkness Pokemon. Or Max Elixir, that lets you look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and if any of them are a basic energy, you can attach them to a benched basic Pokemon. And the combination, I think, of Darkrai Prism Star, Nanu, Max Elixir, and Dark Patch means that in expanded, this is actually going to be really quite, not even just doable, but actually consistent. It's a little bit silly good. And there's also a GX attack here, which is also good. Now, to be fair, 4 Darkness Energy, Colourless, 250, it's alright. It's fine. I mean, look, you're getting Pikarom, which is lovely, and you're not getting all the tag team GXs. So something like Reshiram and Charizard, for instance, you're just not getting a KO on that. You're doing 250, they've got 270, and we've lost Choice Band, and we've lost Professor Kukui, and it's just, yeah. I mean, look, there's nothing to stop you spreading a bit of damage around in the early game, but as it stands at the moment, it's actually kind of awkward. You'll get all the GXs, but you're not actually getting all of the tag teams. And to be honest, most of the tag teams nowadays seem to be coming out with 260, 270. That's a bit of a problem. Well, problem for you. It's not very much of a problem for them at all. So that's a bit sad. But if you've got 5 extra energy attached, which is a lot, discard the top 15 cards of your opponent's deck. That's right, the top 15 cards. Now, we've kind of seen this before with Charizard GX. Charizard GX's GX attack discarded the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. Well, this is 50% better even than that. Now, that was fire double colorless on a stage 2. This is like 10 energy on a basic. And I don't always know how often you're going to be able to pull this off. The 5 energy for the main attack is awkward enough. An extra 5 energy is a little bit of a pain. So, I love this GX attack. I still don't think you're doing quite enough damage, incidentally. With a choice band, you'll be KOing anything but Magikarp and Wailord, but you don't have choice band, so you're going to be falling short of a bunch of tag team GXs. Although it's still weird to me that I can sit here and go, well, 250 is not always enough, given that before tag team GXs, that would be like amazing. But milling 15 cards, that's a quarter of your opponent's deck. And we've got plenty of stuff out there. I mean, in Unbroken Bonds, we've got Giovanni's Exile, and we've got Diglett and all of that. And that's lovely. And Rhydon, which can discard 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck if you played a Giovanni's Exile. And it's lovely. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know if you even need this in a milling deck. Because honestly, you're milling a quarter of your opponent's deck. And the thing is, right, you don't even necessarily have to win with this. It's not like you have to play this and immediately get the win, because you're milling a quarter of your opponent's deck. Even if they've still got 5-10 cards left in deck, have they got the right cards left in deck? There's a very good chance they don't. Yeah. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But really expensive. I'll leave it up to you whether you think it's good enough. As far as I'm concerned, this is a 5 Wossie card. If you want, you can just use it as a giant blocking Pokemon, because actually it's Eevee and Snorlax in terms of weakness, but you got 10 extra HP. Or you can use it in a really good attacking deck, taking extra prizes. Or you can use it to mill. And yes, I know it's expensive, but I think we've got ways around it. If nothing else, let's just be excited that Mega Pokemon are coming back. But also, it's amazing, and I stand by that. But I'd like to know what you think, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the rule, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.